minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.
All right, welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Vaughn.
And we're here with Drift. What's good, homie?
Hey, peace, y'all. Shout out to everybody. Peace.
Yeah,
appreciate you, bro.
Having you on, man. So just a brief introduction. Drift, artist, actor, hip hop artist, just a talented dude, man. So we want actor. We want to tap into what's going on, what you got going on, and just the good vibes you putting out, man. So appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that.
Definitely.
All right, Drift. Let's tap into your background a little bit, man.
Then where do I begin? Like any particular spot you want me to begin? You know,
just start from the start. It's a lengthy one. We got time, bro.
Yeah, I have it'd be difficult for me to talk to myself. I feel like I'm being boastful, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I always have a hard time doing that. That's why I like sending bios, but I take it back to my first recording contract was with Apache, rest in peace, Apache. Word. It was Blacked Out Entertainment / Flavor Unit Records. That was my first contract. Once he became born again Christian, he washed his hands with the music. So from there, I toiled by myself, tried to figure it out, and I got an opportunity to get on Freestyle Friday. That's 106 in Park to the kids. Yeah, to the kids. To come on BT from my thing. Yeah, to the kids. You don't ever heard of 106 in Park. I was on there. I was the battle champion. I almost did the whole ring. I slipped up. I stumbled upon some lyrics, and they gave the decision to a gentleman that's my friend now. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Yeah. Shout out to Nova. You know what I'm saying? So from there, I got an opportunity to go to Def Jam, even though I wasn't victorious. So Def Jam took me. I recorded with them for about a month. We stayed in Woodstock, New York. It didn't pan out too good, so we parted ways. I released an independent video called "Don't Call Me, I'm Gonna Call You." And we shot it on our own. My partner Fuquan, shout out to Fu. We shot that, released it. BT. I submitted it to BT. I think because I was a champion for so long, they just aired it. So from there, I got a situation with Weir, which was at the time Warner Electra Atlantic. I got a situation with that. Put an album out. It performed subpar, you know what I mean? And I took a brief hiatus. And then what happened after that? I took a brief hiatus. And then I think I starred in a DJ Khaled video. And that opened the doors for me to get another deal. So I got a deal with E1. That was, I want to say 2015. I had to deal with that. They released a single. I don't think I released the right single, so it didn't take off. So I sabotaged them. They came back 2 years later, like, look, let's try this again. Tried it again. I paid for the video. I paid for the single recording and everything. And that didn't pan out. I was like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, fuck, can we curse?
Yeah, no doubt.
I was like, man, fuck rap, you know what I'm saying? So I picked my pen and my paper up and my paintbrush, and I just delved back into artwork, you know? And then, I got an opportunity this year. BT reached out to me, you know what I mean? It was like, yo, listen, in a nutshell, we see what you're doing. Submit your video, we'll air it for you. I was like, oh. So I submitted a single. They aired that. That was back in September, October. Then me and my comrades, 050, we got another single on BT right now. So I mean, I'm fortunate enough I had like a career resurgence this year. So
dope.
That's dope. Yeah, you can write a book. You gotta write that book.
Nah, I'm gonna try.
That book.
I think this is like a new chapter, though. I mean, like the second portion of the book. So that's where I'm at right now.
Dope.
No doubt. So you grew up in EO, correct?
Yes, sir. Park Avenue, East Orange, most of my life. I was born in Salisbury, North Carolina.
Okay.
To immigrant African parents. My parents are from Ghana. Shout out to my mom and my pop. And they migrated to North Carolina. And then my sister and I were born there. Shout out to my sister Bobby. And we moved to Boston briefly when my baby sister, Wheat, was born. She passed away July 30th. So,
Sorry to hear that, man. I saw that some of your pictures and all that.
Yeah. Oh, that shit was devastating.
I'm sure.
So, send my love to my baby sis. You know what I mean? I'm which I got on me at all times, you know. So from there, we moved to East Orange. We've been to East Orange since early 80s. So,
okay.
I spent my whole life there.
So how did you fall in love with the arts? Because we know, since you have the talent with the brush, the talent, with the mic, how did you fall in love with that aspect?
Yeah, that was first actually. I was I think I was watching Saturday morning cartoons. I see Spidey and all. I love Spidey. My dad called me Spidey to this day. You know what I mean? So I just picked up the crayon. And my father was like, oh, look at this, and I just kept going. So it was always a passion of mine. It's just, the music, that shit took everything. I was like, oh, wow. The music it's my first love to this very day. So,
no doubt.
Coming from parents from African immigrants, how they take to the rap? Because how did you hide your music? How did it work? 'Cause I know they tend to be a little stricter. And things like that. How they nodding his head. How they take to rap? It probably sound crazy to them.
Yeah, my dad hated it. Hated it.
Straight I figured that.
Yeah, he hated it. He's like, oh, you want to walk around with like these idiots? You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God. You know what I mean? My mother was a lot more receptive, and she's very supportive. Like, she'd pay for me to go to the studio.
Oh wow.
Yeah, shout out to my mom. You know what I mean? She didn't even know if it was going anywhere, but she knew it'd keep me out of trouble. So she'd pay for my session. My dad, he didn't really believe in it. He ain't believe in it till the neighbors told him I was on TV. And he's like, oh, I always knew you could do it. I'm looking around like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, my dad wasn't supportive. My mother, she rocked with it all the way.
Yeah, she probably, I mean, you her son, you know what I'm saying? You know how that mom
only
son relationship is. And I mean, when you look at it from your father's perspective, he grew up in a whole different era, a whole different culture. So I can kind of see, like, he look at this and like look at other people that's doing it. He's like, what are these guys really doing?
Yeah. He wanted me to like secure a future. You know what I mean? He didn't see no future in it. Right. He thought it was like a passing thing. He used to say, "Oh, this thing is a fad. It won't be around for long." You know what I mean? And then like over 20 some odd years later, look at us. So,
definitely. Right. Yeah. So I can hear by your words that you have a very tight knit family. Growing up. How important was that for you too to help mold you who you are today?
Yeah, family was everything because for a long time I only thought it was 5 of us in America. Like I didn't even know I had cousins in North. You know what I mean? I just got acquainted with my cousins over the past 20 years. You know what I mean? For the most part, it was me, my 2 sisters, my mom, and my dad. You know what I mean? And I didn't have nobody I could run to when shit hit the fan. So it was like I had to be very aggressive early. I was naive. I thought everybody had love for me, and that definitely was not the case. So I got into a lot of trouble as a youngster, just defending myself and protecting my sisters and all that. So, childhood was very difficult, very, very difficult.
And your sister Bobby can spit too, man.
She can rap her ass off. Right?
Yeah, she can. She's dope, yeah.
She can rap her ass off. Yeah, shout out to my sister, man. She taking the loss of our baby sister very hard. She taking it hard. So it's like I've convinced her to come back and record though next week. So we're gonna be back.
I mean, she could use some of that. I mean, that's therapy, you know what I'm saying?
It's therapy for me because I was in the studio probably the same week my sister passed, and I did a dedicated 2 records to her. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be on my upcoming project. So it helped me tremendously to get it out.
I think a lot of times, especially Black men, we are afraid to sit down in that chair and kind of give it just kind of spill it out. But I think it's dope for you to have an outlet. That's your way of doing it.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody everybody doesn't have that outlet.
This was the most painful experience of, you know what I mean? I've been to some wars. I got war scars all over, and that pain doesn't even compare by a fraction of how this, feels to lose a sibling. You know what I mean? So it's rough, but I'm just grateful to the Most High. I'm grateful that I'm flourishing in every aspect of life. Finally, I finally got it together right now. So despite everything that's going on.
No doubt, you have an angel watching over you
Yeah,
too.
yeah, speaking to God on my behalf
definitely.
directly. So that's how I look at it.
Definitely. So I know you spoke about that 106 in Park thing, right? And I don't think people understand, especially the younger generation listening, how impactful that show was, because the Freestyle Friday would come on, and you can count the people that have actually came off of that with a deal, from Paperboy to Jen to even Scott Zoo was on there. Pretty much everybody was on there, ran through that. So how was that process to even get there? But Bones Brigante was on there. Like, how do you even get to that? I guess that process. What's that process like to go through that? To realize that, hey, I might be on there. Like, I can get on.
He said Paperboy. It's
Poster boy.
No,
You think about Atlanta. You think about Atlanta.
Now I'm thinking about Nintendo, the Nintendo game. Nintendo game. Yeah. Poster boy.
Poster boy.
Yeah.
My sister Bobby, the one that raps, she actually tricked me into going to 106 Park. Because we watch the show every day. I'm like, yo, the show hard right here. I like it. I like the countdown. I like the energy on the show. She's like, yeah, we're going to go up there. I'm like, where are we going up? She's like, yeah. So we go there. We enjoy the show. I'm like, oh, this was dope. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so what train we catch back? She's like, nah, we ain't going home yet. I'm like, what happened? She's like, you actually here to audition. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? So they took us downstairs. It was like, I want to say it was 12 or 16 rappers, and they squared us all off. You know what I mean? So the remaining 4 was the ones that got on the show. So I was like, you know what? We here. I'm gonna cut loose. So
yeah, might as well, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold everybody down. And it's like, oh my God, like you're going up next week or whatever. And then they put Avalanche in front of me. I was like,
Avalanche. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, that's my guy too. That's my guy. Shout out to Av. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot more personality than I had. You know what I'm saying? He was a character. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he was more ready for the TV. So they brought him first. Me, I'm a dog. So I'm a sniper. I'm just trying to rip you to shreds. And that's how I was on it. You know what I'm saying? But then it was time for me to get on. Then September 11th happened. So it's like, oh man. So that pushed me back like 2 more weeks. But when I finally got on there, it was long overdue, and I did my numbers because clearly I'm still like living off of it 18 years later. So,
yeah.
What was the?
You gonna say?
I was gonna say, what was the love like coming back home? Being on, like, I used to rush home from school to catch that. So what was the love like? Like
it
an
was
EO?
Immediate. Like even when I battled that day, like the girls in the audience wasn't paying me no attention or whatever. Then I got up there. Smoke Homeboy and became a champ. It was like literally kissing me like all over. I was like, what is this? Like,
what's going on?
And I didn't even hit the air yet. So when I hit the air, it was over. It was over.
Sure.
Like people showing up at our house, like, yo, you need anything? You know what I mean? I was getting clothing from designers. I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? So it went to my head like very quick. I was a little kid.
Really?
Yeah, I was a young boy. High school.
My bad, Poster Boy. If you listening, man. I said Paperboy. I was thinking about that game. My fault. But that is kind of crazy though. You think about it though, how that one, we don't have that no more. Like, and I tell people that battle rap is so much different, right? So it's like you said, it's the art to it, right? So you said it's about the charisma that people could have to do it. Yeah. So like, if you know how to play it and it has involved, you don't still battle now, but how do you see that? Do you still watch those events and see how it has kind of like skyrocketed? It's totally
skyrocketed, and it's an art form to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like double, triple, and quadruple entendres, the way they set it up and all that. It's dope. I for one, I'm like a television rapper. I ain't really with the battling. I knew that was an outlet for me to get to where I wanted to go.
Definitely.
And of course, growing up as a young boy, like they used to pit me against other rappers, so it wasn't nothing for me to do it.
Right.
Yeah. I knew at the end of the day, I wanted to be like a bad boy entertainment kind of rapper. I'm like, nah, that's the only way I can get there. So that's what we're doing, and it worked for the most part.
Word up.
So like when you battled someone, did you know who it was gonna be? Did you? Okay, so well, you really gotta be nice because Ain't like, yo, you know, you battling Murder Mook. You could go call it. You could go do some research on him. You could Google it and do all that. How'd you approach that battle? How'd you approach the battles on 106 and Park?
See, like one of my blessings is I'm very quick with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm very witty and I can say something on the fly. So the only time I know who I'm facing is when they put us on stage. So while we're on stage, he might not know, but I'm observing his entire outfit. I'm like, all right, that's right there. I'm gonna flame him up. You know what I'm saying? So it always worked for me. You know, I can always go off the head, and that's what carried me. You know, only one day, the day I lost, like my energy was off, and I felt it. That's when I was too young to recognize energy and all that, and my energy was off. I'm like, damn, this shit don't feel right. It don't feel right, and I wasn't focused, and I tripped up on a couple bars, and I defeated myself essentially. You know what I mean?
True.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Now, I think you're perfect person to ask this to, because I heard something today, or was it yesterday, that I believe Royce the 5'9" posted something, and that's one of my favorite rappers. He posted something on his page, and it was with Jordan Lucas, and Jordan Lucas was basically going and saying how he had to call and apologize to Logic because he had said some bad words about Logic, and he realized that he said that only because he was coming from a jealousy of phase of himself. He said basically not jealous of his success, but basically music success. He was saying that, like, you have the context that I want to have, like, you know, and he actually was man enough to admit that, you know, to him and give him a call and explain himself, so and apologize to him. So being in the music business, how true is that to when you see people doing certain things, be like, yo, I know I'm nicer than him, or I'm just as nice as this person, but for some reason I'm not getting that same love. Like, how do you combat that?
It's profound that you would say that, because that was my energy, like for the past, I would say not the last 3-4 years, because now I accept life for what it is, and I see, you know, whatever's meant to be will be. But you know, from Freestyle Friday on, I was like very frustrated. I'm like, damn, like I could do what this guy could do even better. You know what I mean? So why is my situation not working out? It used to kill me, you know, in my mind. Even BT had a show, BT The Next. Yep. And it was the two artists. It was an episode that I was on. It was me and Kanye. So they like, we're the two that's predicted to skyrocket. You know what I mean? Of course, Kanye shot to the stratosphere, and I was still toiling in underground and ghostwriting and shit. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what am I doing that's not allowing me to go to the next plateau? So those thoughts definitely crossed my mind. It wasn't like a jealousy thing. It was just like, you know, I have all the tools and then some. Yeah. So it's like, why can I not put the damn play together? And then from there, I would force situations that weren't meant for me period. Right. So it's because it was an opportunity, I would push my way like, nah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And then they will all, you know, disintegrate, like the E1 situations. Like it was signs showing me that it weren't fruitful. It wasn't going to be a fruitful endeavor. Yeah. But being that it was, a deal. You know, I can get in there and I can make something happen. And I was insistent, and of course, it didn't go anywhere. So,
yeah. It's something I wanted to bring up to real quick, D, because this is just about music. It's just about life too, about any career thing that you do. So I think that anyone watching, listening to this pod can see that, you know, what's meant for you will be you. You will get. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what career you're in, because sometimes you might be, you know, working a corporate job and like, yo, why so-and-so get that promotion? I didn't get it. Yeah, sometimes you looking down at that and you're envious of that, but it wasn't meant for you. So I kind of want to bring it up, but in a bigger thing, you know, bigger arena.
Definitely.
Yep. And music is so tough. Like, it's not like sports. Like, the best basketball players, as long as they could, like, you know, take care of their grades or they could stay out of trouble, like, those guys are gonna make the league, right?
They're gonna make it. Yep.
Music is art. So it's like you can have the wackest rapper, at least in your mind, on top of the charts, making millions, right?
All subjective.
But you got 1 million 16-year-olds that's streaming it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna stream you. They don't care about bars.
Nah, they don't give a rat's about bars. You know
they care about the melody, and you can't knock the guy that's making it. He found a lane. He found, and I think, and that's was one of the good things about COVID. I felt is like, I think COVID brought back the rappers because there was no partying, if you nobody's listening to a party hit just on SoundCloud in the crib.
Yeah.
Everybody's listening to bars. They're listening to content. Nobody's going to a club, so they could care less about, the shake it. Like ain't none of that shaking right now. So I think that's why we saw, we see a lot of great music like Griselda. Ransom got a lot of heat. I don't know if
Ransom is lethal.
Ransom's got an MVP campaign happening right now. And just guys like that. So, but yeah, I'm glad you accepted what it is because it is difficult, man.
Yeah, I had to. I'm saying that this situation, it made me man up. It made me look at myself in the mirror, and it made me accept reality, and it made me just recognize the energy I put out, recognize how powerful my thoughts were. You know what I'm saying, and the blessings that were bestowed upon me, being that my energy wasn't in the right place, I would push my blessing away. I blocked them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was the biggest blessing blocker in my life than me. You know what I mean? It wasn't the white man. The white man didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was all me. So, that's just the truth. You know what I mean? Once I accepted that, then it's like money started to chase me down. I was like, oh, wow. So it was my fault all this time. And that's essentially what happened.
And I think it comes with maturity too. As we grow up, as we become men, we see things differently. And I think that's why we talked about it a couple of pods ago about I'm sick of these young rappers dying, right? Like things happening. And I think a lot of that comes down to doing that. People blocking their blessings, right? So people are saying it's more envy, like why is he eating and I'm not eating? So that breeds jealousy. So when that breeds jealousy, things happen. So but when you're more secure in yourself, you're not worried about what the next man is doing. You know what I'm saying? You congratulate him, and you still go get your own thing.
You do your thing. You could be motivated by success as opposed to be like, why the fuck he got that? You know what I mean? Like, I deal with that. A lot of that. Like, people who I call, quote unquote, my brothers, like, they can't even really, disguise the jealousy. You know what I mean? They'll say shit like, I seen that little shit you did. Like, little shit. But, bro.
Yeah.
You was smoking the black and mild when I left this morning at 8 o'clock. Now it's 5 o'clock. Came back and still sitting there. So, who's doing little shit? Me or you? You know what I mean? So,
yo, Drift. Anytime somebody say little in front of what you're doing, it's big. It's a sneak.
Oh man, big time sneak.
It's like, y'all, I seen that little show you did the other day. We saw it though.
Okay.
Little that. Yeah.
Back in the day, I'd have socked them out. I'm like, oh yeah, different.
See, maturity.
Yeah. I'm so blessed. You know what I mean? Despite all the setbacks I had, like I'm still blessed, and there's nothing to stress about. You know what I mean? Like one way or another, it's going to be a success. So,
I want to tap back into the art. How do you get these paintings done so quickly? If I'm not mistaken, I think you had one like maybe the next day or two after Nipsey passed.
Yeah, it was the day of.
Yeah, I'm just, I've been following your page, and I'm just like, it wasn't, it looked like Nipsey. It's crazy. I saw this one drawing, like it was like a straight up mural. Like they had Nipsey looking like Omarion. I was like,
I saw that.
I was like, come on, bro. But how do you get that done so quickly?
It's like inspiration. You know what I'm saying? I move off. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a hippie. I mean, I am a hippie, but it's like it's just the energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like an energy, and it's like a wave of energy. Or I like to call it the Bifrost. You know what I'm saying? That's from Thor movie or whatever. The Bifrost energy come, and I just start knocking shit out. It's the same with music. I'm just I was called, what was I called? She called me a creative. I never knew what that was, but apparently that's what I am. It's like once I'm in the energy, once it comes, I just be knocking shit out. And that's what it is. The love Nipsey. I always loved him. I felt like I knew him. I never had the opportunity to meet him. Just his thought process. I listened to a lot of interviews after he passed. I'm like, this dude was, a genius. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, the artwork, that's how I pay homage, essentially. You know what I mean? That's how I pay my respect. It's the only way I know how.
It's crazy. Real quick. I think you did the painting, and then the night of, Docs had the Nipsey freestyle up, like literally the next morning.
Yeah.
And I remember that night. I ain't sleep well, and the first thing I saw when I woke up was Doc's freestyle on it. And I hit him. I hit him in DM. I say, yo, Doc's not go way back. I'm like, thank you, bro. I was like, I felt like I knew Nipsey. He was like, it's because you did. You know what I'm saying? So like, from then on, I start looking at a perspective like, just because the person don't know you, doesn't mean you don't know the person.
Exactly.
But that I got that from that conversation with Docs though.
Absolutely.
It's definitely dope because like to the Nipsey thing about you saying D, like you felt like you knew him, like you felt him. It's similar to why the first person I felt like that was Pop. When I was like 15 years old when he passed away, that's how I felt. And people didn't understand it, and I didn't understand it. I'm like, I don't understand why I feel like connected to this guy that I never met in my life. I'm 15 years old, so that's the same thing. But you were saying, Drift, as far as being creative, I think we have talked to we know how a lot of our friends that are creatives are in the arts. You guys have that same energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like a different type of energy that you're blessed with to have that other people can't. They can't tap into that.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you do what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's a blessing, man. That's a big blessing. It's a big blessing. Even before the podcast, I was painting. You know what I mean? Before, it provided me with a sense of peace. You know what I'm saying? And now at this junction in my life, after all the turmoil and all the headaches and all the just confusion, like the artists want peace. I would take peace over money any day. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Peace of mind. And just love and good energy, I'll take that over money any day.
I mean, what is money, right?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
I mean,
money does provide freedom. You know,
yeah.
I have freedom within my spirit and my soul. You know what I mean? Than just the financial. Whatever.
Yeah. And speaking of the arts and stuff like that, and since you're such a creative, how do you feel about them trying to pulling the arts out of schools? You know what I'm saying? Where you're seeing that, like, you might have certain schools like science and things like that, right? And Derrick, some of the schools that do it in Newark area, arts. But a lot of schools, like your regular public schools, they're not having these programs no more in certain areas. So I think that's affecting the kids too, because if you don't have the arts, and then say you might not be A1 in school, you might not just be A1 in school. You're not an athlete, so you can't play. You don't want to play a sport. What else do you do if you can't? If you're a creative person, you look for an outlet, and the outlet might be the bad thing.
Yeah. See, I think that's by design, though. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about school is like a conveyor belt, almost assembly line, and right now they're just conditioning you to be able to compete for the jobs. So if they have art in the school, you could somehow become an entrepreneur, and you won't even need to become a cog in the system. You know what I'm saying? I think school only trains you to work. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with working. It's nothing wrong with it at all. You got to provide for your family. But at the same token, they don't encourage you to, use the gifts that's bestowed upon you and, monetize it. They don't teach you that. You know what I'm saying? I don't use anything from school that I learned except reading, the ability to read and write. I don't use any of that. You know what I'm saying? None of the history that they try to cram down our mind, that's all rubbish. It doesn't pertain to our situation or our ancestry. It don't pertain to none of it. So it's like, what the fuck are we learning this for? I think it's by design that they don't, keep art in school. Art is how I keep my lights on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's funny that you say that, because a lot of my close friends that are artists, they were never really good students. Meaning that they knew they could pass, knew how to do the stuff.
Yeah.
They really cared about that notebook, and they were writing something in it, or they were doing a poem, or they were like drawing something. And I'm like, oh, you do that? Like, yeah, but you in class, you don't care what was going on in class, but you're doing that. So it was frowned upon back then. People saying like, what are you doing? Focus on the schoolwork, focus on this algebra. But really, that was that kid's gift. Yeah. And that gift could have, make him into an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's like they clip our wings as children, you know what I'm saying? And if you're not fortunate enough, you won't find your way back again. You know what I mean? It was signs along my journey that were telling me that artwork is where I was at. But because I wanted to be a rap star so bad, I just disregard, man, fuck out of here. I'm doing this right now. You know what I mean? But the shit was never working. It was never panning out. Now, when I humble myself and I stick to the script and I do the artwork, the rap falls in my lap. I'm like, look at that. You know what I'm saying? So I just made my journey so difficult, far more difficult than it had to be. You know what I mean?
So who do you decide? Like you get to your pad, who do you decide you want to draw?
That's
well, how do you decide who you want to draw? I should say.
It's like I'll see things. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be on the gram, whatever, on the explore page, and then the image will pop out. Like, oh shit, let me do that right quick. It's that simple.
Wow.
I never know who I'm gonna draw. You know what I mean?
How long does it take you to do a typical drawing?
I say 40 minutes.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. That's insane, man.
Like 40 minutes.
With the coloring and all, just like the outline?
All that. I'm doing it simultaneously. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow. That is insane, man.
Yeah. The most difficult thing I did was my comic book. That was very difficult.
Doing comic books, bro. Like that's something that's different, man. Like you don't hear people saying like, I'm doing comic books. You know?
Yeah, that doesn't even exist.
That was difficult. Yeah.
See, that's a beautiful gift, man. So, you know how they always say, like artists, you never get your full credit until you're gone, right? And that's a lot of artists. I mean, that's not just saying you. Hopefully, that's not happening for you. But I mean, you know, we seen like the John Baptiste and everybody. You know, you see Basquiat. I mean, and when Basquiat was doing it, no one wanted it.
Nobody even cared. Yeah,
no one cared.
So cared till Jay-Z said something.
Right.
Now it's all this money. So how you feel? How you feel the art scene is right now? I think it's popping right now as far as like everyone getting into it and really understanding art. How you feel about that?
Well, I feel like the people I come across, they don't really know art too well. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that request me to do like their portraits or whatever. I could tell they don't know art, but it's like the cool thing at the moment. So, let me get one. You know what I mean? And then I get it to them. Like, yeah, it's nice, but it don't look exactly like the picture. All right, my nigga, you should have got a Polaroid and took a picture. And then,
I could have just did that for you.
Yeah, from the door, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they don't even know no art. You know what I mean? Because some people I give it to, and then like most people, like they break down in tears. Like, oh man, thank you. This is what I want. You know, the reaction I get blows my mind. Like just to see the gratitude, and it's almost always tears. Almost always tears. I'm like, this shit is like some shit that I did in my bedroom. Like it had this effect. So you know, the art is a blessing. Even throughout the pandemic, like I have not starved like one day. You know?
It take longer to cook chicken. And you whip it out. So joint. How'd you link with Dame to do that painting?
Dame, that was through Do It All. Do It All.
That's dope.
They Do and Dame go back. You know what I'm saying? And Do was like I would call Do a mentor to me. He showed me a lot of love. He never treated me like I was a fan. Never. You know what I'm saying? Even I was gonna say something foul about some other art. I ain't gonna say it, but Dude was a good man. You know what I'm saying? He linked back up with Dame after 20 years. Dame was having a show, and Dude called me. He was like, "Yo, come perform tonight." I don't like say no more. And it went far better than I ever anticipated. You know what I mean? So I got to perform with Dame like 3 times. Then the third time, just the way he was like so down to earth. I'm like, wow, this like he get a bad rap because there ain't nothing like I was hearing. You know what I mean? So I just had a respect for him, keep putting me on, and keep inviting me out, and it was helping me. You know what I'm saying? So I just like let me show him my gratitude. Did the art for him, and it was a blessing.
I think Dame gets a bad rap because
he
exposes things.
He does.
He's not gonna be a yes man.
No.
He shakes stuff up.
He does.
People aren't comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
So they try to
vocal like that, and he's like this, and he goes against the status quo. Like that's a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah, that's definitely Dame's only thing that I think gets that bad rap. Like you said, D, it's just what he says and how he says what he feels.
Yeah.
So everybody doesn't want to hear that. So when you see somebody saying something, you become angry and hostile. Yeah. When you're really not being angry or hostile, you're just saying how you feel.
Well, when you're messing with people money, they're gonna paint you like that.
Oh yeah, of course. You know that's how it goes.
You gotta be like that. This game I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like the game is very foul. Like the people will tell you stuff and they have no intentions of keeping their word. Like where I come from, that's punishable by death. You know what I'm saying? So I take it personal. Like when you tell me we're gonna have a budget meeting and the budget meeting never takes place, or we're gonna have this funding for the radio campaign and I never get it. Like, somebody gotta bleed. I'm thinking like, all right, if I was back home, I'll handle it this way. You know, I don't have no business etiquette or no business acumen. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I understand Dame, just on the behalf, you know, of my experiences. And I'm a little more aggressive than Dame, so I don't even want to open my mouth like he does, because it'll go bad.
It'll go left quick.
It'll go left too fast. So, you know, that's how I got out of one deal. Like, you know, I went up in the label, and I was a lot younger though. It was almost 15 years ago, and I definitely got out the deal, but it cost me my career too. You know what I'm saying? So,
for real, it's crazy when you think about the arts and music, and whether it's acting, whether it's painting, drawing, rapping. To me, when people put a price tag on it, right? Because to me, it's all subjective, right? So, like, you can do a picture, and somebody comes to you like, yo, this is the best picture, greatest picture I've seen in my life. I'm going to give you $1 million for it right now. And that sets the bar for whatever you're going to get, which to me is crazy, because it's like, who's that tastemaker that says that? They go, you know what? Exactly. You're going to have that, because you can have people that's doing so. I remember somebody, I don't know the name of the artist, because I'm not that, know too much about it, but he was selling his stuff for like $5 on the streets of New York, just selling it. One person grabbed it and was like, "Nah, this is worth more. This should be worth $10,000." And they paid. He's like, "Yo, I was selling this for $5. Now I'm getting 10."
Yeah,
like that could change your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, how does that make you feel that people will look at your art and actually say, like, put a price tag on it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel any kind of way. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like, if a gift has been bestowed upon you and you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. You know what I mean? So just
That's
like, I just do it for the peace of mind and the joy it brings to others. If it so happens that I skyrocket from it, that's a blessing. But I'm using it for what it's meant for. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's cool even regardless. So,
all right.
Jeff, who you listening to right now?
St. John. I listen to St. John right now.
St. John's dope. Yep.
Yeah. I first heard of him when my first video on BT in like 15 years came out in September. The song was called For Me or whatever. So after my video came on, St. John came on. I was like, let me check this out. I thought he's from Miami or some shit, because his hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this dude sound different. He don't sound like a regular trap dude. That shit sound different.
Yeah, he mad versatile, man.
Very versatile. And then Saturday night, I seen him again on the fight or the
Tyson joint.
Yeah, he did like 3 songs. I'm like, oh, that's Homeboy right there. And then he did the song again. I'm like, man, let me check this shit out. So I checked it out. My shit is lethal. So since Saturday, I'm only playing St. John since Saturday. So, but normally I listen to like 80s R&B, 80s and 90s. Yeah.
Where that's right in my lane, yo. Yeah. I can listen to Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald all day. I'm good.
I listen to Cameo. I listen to Kool and the Gang. My favorite is Patrice Rushen. She's my favorite. So yeah, my new project that I hope to release in like January or February. It sound like 80s music, but I'm rapping on there. It's dope. The album's called What My Soul Sounds Like. You know what I mean? So when you hear it, it's gonna be dope. You know what I mean?
No doubt. So how about as far as TV? What you watching on TV?
I don't really watch TV like that. I don't watch TV like that. I watch wrestling a lot. I watch wrestling.
I peeped you with the belts.
Yeah, I got like 5 belts. I'm gonna have 6 next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was wrestling, I'd be a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? They're interesting. You know what I'm saying? But wrestling is a lot like rapping, because it's characters. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to talk. Talking is very important. You got to engage the audience, pull them in, make them, cheer for you or boo. But I like entertainment. I like that. I'm a Marvel junkie, of course, Marvel comic junkie, and DC. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different kind of guy. You know what I mean? Different kind of guy. I'm hood as hell, but it's like I like these things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No. You know what's dope about what you said about the like wrestling and rap, right? I wish more rappers thought the way you thought about rap. because I think what ends up happening is that the streets and everything gets combined, and people don't understand this is entertainment.
Yeah.
So you have a guy saying this, and next thing you know, something's happening with that. You don't see Roddy Piper coming up, God bless him, but coming up fighting Jake the Snake after life.
See, we got the game twisted. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't have one foot in the suite and then one foot in the street. That's never gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I don't want to be a gangster. I wanted to be when I was growing up, but I was like, nah, I like the camera too much for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that gangster shit is corny. Like, being gangster for real is providing for your family and securing the future. That's gangster shit. Because we don't come from that. So that's the real gangster shit. So, you know, I just want to entertain. I was told as a rapper, you got to be larger than life. So I take all that from comic books. I take all that from wrestling. I take all that from the movies, and I try to incorporate it into what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And now it's starting to make a little sense now. Now it's like, oh shit, so all right, the stars are aligning now. You know what I mean? So, you know, my whole energy is different. You know what I mean? It's whole different.
That's dope. That's
dope. You know, I want to tap back into wrestling. You know Percy Watson?
Percy Watson.
He does commentating now.
Who that Percy Watson?
Damn, that's not familiar. Who you commentate on NXT?
I don't even know, man. It says, I'm looking now. It says NXT, 205 Live, WWE.
Yep.
It's crazy because I went to school in Newark with him, right? He used to live on 18th Ave, right?
Wow.
So that was my good. His name is Nick McNeil. That's his real name. But real cool. Then he moved to North Carolina when we was like in 6th grade. So I knew him from like kindergarten all the way through 6th grade. Moved to North Carolina. But when he used to come up, his grandmother still lived on 18th Ave, so he used to always come up. He played football. He was with the Giants for a little bit. So that was that, right? And then my other man, Vaughn Sue, ran into him, right?
Yeah.
So he ran into him at the bar. He was like, "Yo, Nick a wrestler now." I was like, "What?" But I know he was wrestling and he got with I think he does commentating now.
Okay.
Yeah. I ain't know if you know. And I ain't watched wrestling in years.
I don't watch 205. No, that's like the Bush leagues of wrestling. I don't watch.
Back in the day, it used to be WCW and WWF.
Those are the two legit ones.
Those are the two legit ones. And I remember
Bush leagues.
Yep, I remember I used to watch. I remember it's mad funny. That's like the regional ones. I used to watch it. I remember seeing Stunning Steve Austin before he was Stone Cold. Stunning Steve Austin. He had the blonde hair. Yeah, and I used to watch him. And then Ricky Dragon, Steamboat, all those people, right? And then once they started switching, once Hulk Hogan went to WCW, I said it's all over. It's crazy to me right now.
That's when it got popping. Yeah, that's when.
That's when it got popping. But to me, I was like, "Yo, what's going on here? Why they switching leagues?" Like,
That molded me. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, WCW. I'm gonna go back further. NWA when Ric Flair was there. That was my first idol. Ric Flair. He was wearing Rolexes. He had minks on. He had big shade.
Had all the
drama women. I was like, oh. God, like he was blowing my mind as a little boy. You know what I'm saying? That shit blew me away. So like, I grew up to become a dude. You know what I mean?
Four Horsemen. Arn Anderson.
Tully Blanchett. You heard?
Or you could. Yeah, those some of the dirtiest in the game right there.
I love that. That's it. That's part of it. You know what I'm saying?
That Ric Flair 30 for 30. I don't know if you ever saw that one. That was one of the best ones. He said he used to throw back like 40 beers in a night.
Yeah, he looks like it too. Look at him.
He was like, I should have been dead.
Those are great athletes. So besides music, art, what's another hobby that you get into? Like, what do you like to do besides that to get your mind away from all that? Might just be chilling.
Marijuana. that shit soothes my soul, man. Marijuana, especially, you know what I'm saying, after the tragedy this summer, like I leaned heavy into marijuana, you know what I mean? And that shit, it's like everything gonna be all right. When I smoke that shit, it's like everything gonna be all right. Chill regular. Everything gonna be good. Yeah. And it be all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't really got friends like that. I got family, of course, but, you know, I'm so different. Like, I'm so eclectic. Like, I don't even like to be around people. You know what I'm saying? I just chilling.
Be in a room watching wrestling Dolo.
Because
Cause yeah, my lady with it too. Like whatever, smoke with her, we watch wrestling together. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, yeah.
Chilling, man.
That's a match made in heaven, bro. Yo, listen. So what's going? Yo, you heard they're not gonna test in the NBA no more for weed.
That's a blessing.
They started. Adam Silver said it this year, like they ain't testing for it at all. So
they should.
I mean, they shouldn't, because a lot of dudes doing that because there's a lot of different things going on with them, man. Like I think the bubble. I think the bubble really though, D. I think the bubble and things like that make people really focus. Like, yo, when Paul George saying I'm gonna have mental health issues in the bubble, everybody's like, what are you talking about? But yo, you're making millions of dollars. We get that, but you're away from your family. You can't leave there.
You can't leave there.
That's a different type of thing, because when you have an outlet, you might go fishing, you might go see a favorite restaurant. You can't do that. So I think they need that stuff. Even the football definitely needs it. Football, your body's crazy.
Your body's damaged and all that. See, this thing though, it's been a blessing to me, like quarantine, because I like to be by myself anyway. You know what I'm saying? We can't go outside. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I was cool with it too.
Yeah, I don't fuck with people like that. Like I put a lot of people on a pedestal, you know what I mean? And the love I showed, like, it not be reciprocated. So I was like, you know what? Like, why am I even forcing this shit? Like, chill out, let them do them, and I do my thing. That's it.
You know what I heard? I heard Drift. I heard something too. It's like, yo, you're always gonna be disappointed with people because you're never gonna put the same amount of love that you give them into you. It's never gonna do that. You know, that's just how it works, though. You know, so my whole thing is, I expect certain things again, but I'm never surprised about something. So nothing never like takes me out. I'm like, all right, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because like Derrick and I, we got like we got a nice group of friends that we always stay tight with, cool with.
Definitely.
So we know that a lot of people don't have that. Yeah. So it's kind of a blessing that we got like 10 dudes that we still stay tight with. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't realize how rare that is until like I talk to other people and they got like 2 homies. I mean, we got a legit like 10 solid dudes, like legit.
If you got more than 5, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I got like less than 5. Less than. You know what I'm saying? And they're still, even the 5, they do some shit up like, whoa, you know what I mean? Y'all blessed, bro.
Yeah. It's been cool. Who you rocking with in sports, man? You watching any sports?
Nah, I'm a fight junkie.
I'm about to say that Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday
night.
For me. You got Bellator, or you got the boxing. I forgot what they call it. I forgot they call it boxing, but boxing, UFC, or Bellator. That's it. If I got that, I'm in heaven. So I'm a fight fan, big time. Big time.
So how'd you like that hugging fest last weekend?
What's on my Roy?
Yeah, that was horrible. Roy.
No, that was advisable, because if he didn't, they'd be scraping Roy off the mat like they Robinson. Yeah. That shit is mandatory. He fought smart.
Somebody said, not for nothing, if you give Tyson 3 or 4 tune-up fights, he could be champion of the world.
He could though, because he wasn't winded, nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Roy was smothering him. Heavyweights don't smother each other. They're going to fight. So,
they're going to fight.
No, Mike could do some damage. He needed to stay with like Anthony Joshua and them niggas, but you know what I mean? Like the mid-tier, he'd smoke them.
He'll smoke them, yeah.
Yeah, he'd smoke them.
Something in my mind thought that like Mike was just gonna snap and knock him out. Like, even though it's not part of the rules. But he changed, man. He started with the smoking
he pulled back though. No, Mike was pulling back punches. Like, if he would have came out and did what he wanted to do, a couple combos, it would have been over. He was
swinging though. He was swinging because.
Did you see when he bit his glove? Yeah, it was the reason he bit his glove. Like, it was like, I think
he's getting back in his element. I don't think that meant that way.
I thought he wanted to take him up top. I was like, I'm not going to do it.
I'm saying he had the opportunity to do it. He should have did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing. Roy was stifling that shit. Tie his ass up. When he start lighting you up, tie the motherfucker up. Let the ref separate. Then get distance. Every time he got distance, he'll pop Mike. You know what I'm saying? Slipping punches. And I'm like, Roy, my guy.
Roy would have died. Yeah, Roy would have died if Tyson would. Did you see at the end of the fight when he was standing up? Roy was done, yo.
He about to get out of there.
He was still
Body
hurting.
shot. It was a body shot in the first round. It sapped all his strength.
People sleep on them body shots too.
That shit is the winner. Like, body shot, that's how the knockouts occur. Because I'm saying, he's so accustomed to protecting his body, he don't guard his face no more. That's what happened. So, yeah, body shots are essential.
And then Nate got touched. And we
Nate,
knew that was going to happen.
He had no business in there.
Not at all.
Like, when he threw the first jab, I was like, oh, no. Yeah. I'm like, nah. This ain't going to go good. And he got slapped.
So who you got on Saturday with my man Errol Spence and Danny Garcia?
Errol Spence,
easy.
Danny Garcia is this one trick pony, man. Errol Spence, I even see Errol Spence stopping him. I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that happen.
I see Errol Spence. He ducking T-Bud though, which is advisable.
Right now, just chill out.
Yeah. Stay away from that side. Yeah, that's advisable.
Word up.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
All right, Drift, we wrap up with our rapid fire at the end.
Okay.
Just a couple this or that or open-ended questions. So, ready to roll?
That's rock and roll.
All right, man. All right, you got to choose one. This is about to be a body blow for you. You ready? You got rap or art?
Rap.
Ooh.
That was easy.
I thought you was going to go art.
Rap.
Nah, because remember, he was saying rap kept pulling them. The art was always there.
Yeah, that was light work for you.
Want. Yeah.
All right.
Who's your favorite artist of all time?
Favorite artist of all time? That's a dope question. Favorite artist of all time? Dope. I like my favorite of all time though. I would say like Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby was like one of the prime Marvel artists in the 60s and 70s. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the credit he deserved. So he left Marvel and went to DC and started creating characters like Darkseid, for instance. You know what I'm saying? One of the big Justice League enemies or whatever. So I say Jack Kirby just for what he endured and how he had to boss up and take his career into his own hands. You know, I'm familiar with that type of energy. So I'll say Jack Kirby.
That's dope.
What's your favorite art piece of yours?
Favorite art piece of mine? I want to say it's I did a portrait of my sister, and it's in my comic book, and that'll be released next week. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. All right, no doubt. If you had to pick one album to listen to the rest of your life, which one would it be? It could be any genre of music too, not just hip hop. All right.
The only one I could listen to straight through, I think that's like Illmatic. Nah, shit. Like if hip hop itself turned into a sentient being, the voice would be Nas's voice. So I think,
I like that.
Yeah, Illmatic. I could listen to that nonstop.
All right. Ric Flair or Macho Man?
Ric Flair.
Nature Boy, man.
Yeah. That wasn't even no challenge right there. Ric Flair for sure.
I got one for you, man.
Yeah.
So you can invite 5 dinner guests. Who would they be?
5 dinner guests.
Here or gone?
Rick Ross, for sure. I love Rick Ross.
Yep. We do too.
Yeah. Mace. I definitely invite Mace there. Mace is my dude.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I love Mace. I love Mace. I want to talk to Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I want to learn something. I'll bring Jay-Z to the table. 2 more. This is all music too.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Jeezy. I want to know why he did that shit last week. I want to talk to Jeezy. Bring Jeezy ass. And
Jeezy. Okay.
Yeah. Bring Jeezy ass over here. I need to talk to him. Like, fuck with over there, bro. And I want to talk to T.I. So I want to talk to him.
Tip. Okay.
Yeah. Tip used to be my favorite artist.
Yeah.
Then he started doing a couple things. I was like, bro, you know what I mean? But
start looking at him sideways a little bit.
Yeah, but for sure.
Now, it's the funniest thing you said that, because when they had that versus battle, when it was Jeezy and Gucci, right? I said, listen, if he had T.I., I don't know how it wouldn't have been, because Jeezy got
fire in there.
Think it would have been? So
I told him the same thing. I like
I don't think so.
Catalog.
No, I'm saying if Gucci had made that statement about smoking on Pookie Low, and he said one of the tips people, that would have been done. You would have seen the stay tuned with having technical difficulty shit come on.
Yeah, it went over.
Yeah, it went over. So
yeah.
See,
and I think as far as music goes, I always said that Jeezy has like his music is like motivational music. Like when it comes on different.
Yeah, like anthem shit.
Yeah,
definitely
anthem. Yeah, I said T.I., he got good music, but it's all, when you do the verses, it's about how you play the music. You know what I'm saying?
I think he would edge out. He would edge Jeezy out.
That's what I said too.
Yeah, he definitely would. Just listen to Down with the King mixtape. The whole mixtape he did Lil Flip on. Like he was going. Listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Like that would make you a fan. If you wasn't a fan of him, listen to that. You'll be a fan. Like
Paper Trail got a lot of joints.
Paper Trail's hard. The King album was my favorite of his.
I like Urban Legend.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, neck and neck. So T.I., he'd definitely get Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta talk to Jeezy though, because he did. I'm not happy with him right now.
You got a couple questions for him?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Like, you know
what he do? I can't remember. What happened?
Your man. Oh, I'm smoking on Pookie Low. Nigga, send more. I'm gonna send him back in the box or whatever. And you turn around and you do a duet together. And you dancing like you're on the motherfucking Grammys. I'm like, get your ass.
That gotcha.
Yeah, I hated that. I was like, well, they ain't got no self-respect at all.
But I heard that they knew that he was going to do the song because they met and Gucci was like, yo, I'll do the verses, but I gotta do that song. Like that's fine. You know what I mean?
That's fine. The disrespect afterwards, though, Jeezy ain't signed up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like he did too much. Now it's a week later, and they still talking about smoking Pookie Low. So he done reignited the shit.
Reignited something different.
Yeah. It's not cool. That man got a family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why would you do this? You know. So and Jeezy, I wouldn't even put myself in that position. You didn't need it. You didn't need it.
You didn't need that. Yeah, it's the album. You know how it go.
And it's subpar. I haven't heard nobody talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I listened to it one time.
I skimmed
it. If it was a CD, I'd have thrown that shit out on the highway. You know what I'm saying? It was my phone, so I couldn't throw my phone out. You know what I'm saying?
yo, that's the ultimate diss. People don't understand about CDs.
Oh my god!
Like back in the day, if you got a CD do out the window, frisbee
or weed plate.
A lot of my CDs, my personal drift CDs, they've been frisbee. You know what I'm saying? I gave one out a year at Summer Jam. Gave out like 5,000. You know what I'm saying? As I'm driving out of the Summer Jam, my shit is all over the floor. I'm like, wow. Yeah. Oh, for sure. I've been there.
It's part of the game. It's part of the
game, man. It hurt,
man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, yo, it's definitely a pleasure having you on, man.
Word.
It's a pleasure too, and I have a question for y'all.
Oh, what's up?
Are y'all in the same location? I see the wood panels and all that. Are y'all in the same spot?
Nah,
yours is brighter.
Yeah,
shit. So who did that architecture? Why is it like that?
You know why it's like that? So he has a light. Like I have a light, a desk like, for my area. He has a floor light.
Okay.
So the floor light brightens that all up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but how do y'all have the same wood panel? How did that happen?
Oh, we purchased it. It's a backdrop.
Oh, okay. So it's not real wood?
Nah.
Come on, man. Come on.
This is real wood. It's beautiful.
I'm an artiste, so I'm observing. I'm like, all right, what's going on here?
We'll tell you offline.
We'll tell you offline. Know the vibes.
Let me know.
Well, shout out to Drift, man. If you got any social media, website, anything you want to shout out before we go?
Yeah, I know the people tired of hearing me talk. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good?
Bro, you good.
My website is driftartandmusic.com. That's driftartandmusic.com. That's my website. My IG and my Twitter, even though I don't rock with Twitter like that, is at The Real Drift, TheRealdrift. I got a comic book that'll be released next week. It's entitled Mr. Kumasi. It's written by me, illustrated, colored, lettered, all by me. It's my first ever issue #1. I did a Kickstarter campaign for it. You know what I'm saying? I met my goal financially in 4 days, probably 3 days, 3-4 days. And the success rate on Kickstarter is less than 40%. So for me to do that out the gate is a blessing. So, I mean, that comic book will be available direct to market and on digital comic book websites. I have more information on my IG next week, but shout out to everybody.
All right, congrats on that.
Well, congrats,
Many thanks.
Well, shout out to Drift for joining us today, man. It's been a pleasure, like we said. So you can catch the Great Minds podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, SoundCloud, Amazon, wherever you can stream or watch podcasts. On IG at the Great Minds Podcast, on Twitter at the Great Mind P1. Salute to Drift. Appreciate having you, brother.
Appreciate
much love and respect, man. Thank y'all for having me. I had a great time.
It's our pleasure, man.
Our pleasure. Peace, y'all.
Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. 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 Derrick Devon, oh boy, like Cam on a song. Culture safe now, thank God. The panic is gone. Time to heal from the pain. Take the bandages off. You gotta win. The stakes are high like a cannabis bomb. Okay, it's game time. Picture with the balls, that's a FaceTime. Great minds spreading faster than a rumor through the grapevine. Vaughn and Derrick, deserve the merit. All salute. It's more than just a podcast show. It's like a movie. Vaughn and Derrick, what up? Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.